Colts needed to continue to go with how they dug the hole in there. So I think that is a decision that is going to be spotlighted, highlighted, especially if the Colts end up not making, right? Like if
that's going to be the game they point to.
Oh.
We could have think of what it could have done for our confidence, for momentum, for everything, our standings, and then we let that one slip away, and people are going to be like, that was the turning point.
So that's probably why Frank Reich felt the need to say, hey, let me go ahead and get it all out there on why we're doing this. But then the voiceover person doing it again, it was like, all right. Okay, I understand you're talking directly to us out here that are, and not just, and by us, I'm not talking about us doofuses. I'm talking about everybody that is a fan that's like, hey, we got a guy in Jonathan Taylor. We have the lead. Let's run this sumbitch out. Like, let's just go ahead and do that. I appreciate them answering it, but I do love that Quentin Nelson's like in the middle of the game. Like, what are we even? Just right behind me. Yeah. Just right. If we don't. Now, Vita Vea is a stud. So is Quentin Nelson. Like, I didn't hear the voiceover guy say that. You know, like, oh, they got the number one rush defense. It's like, oh, we got maybe the best guard in the history of fucking football. Yeah. Is that being talking, by the way, in saying, let's run the ball? I just think there was a little bit of, you know.
Well, if you're the Colts, you're allowing them to have unprecedented access during the season. I wouldn't want them to be trashing my head coach either. Like I would, if I'm Jim Irsay, if I'm Frank Reich, I'd be like, yeah, you guys, we're giving you all this access and you're just going to kill me and paint this narrative. Like I wouldn't want that either.
By the way, Jim Irsay, Frank might have been doing all that for Jim Irsay too. Because I bet you Jim Irsay was like, well, brother, I got Edge in the building. Mm-hmm. I got Reggie here. I got everybody here. We have a 10-point lead over Tom fucking Brady, and we don't run the ball at all. Hindsight. You know, Jim knows. Like, Jim is invested in football. Like, he is very invested in how the team is built. I think he's not like hands-on, I'm making every decision, but he is very invested in it. He's probably asking the same question. So Frank's like, all right, we got everybody in the world asking. And let's assume Jim also not exactly thrilled. Give me every stat we have. Give me the stats department on why we did what we did. If they win that game, nobody cares, by the way. Yeah. Nobody cares at all. That's everything. Now, if they lose next week, and they won this game close, then maybe it would have been brought. Now, he tried to do this last week. He tried to get the ball out of Jonathan Taylor's hands, which has happened throughout the season. And when he doesn't get fed, the Colts don't do well. That is just like a very real thing. He's back-to-back AFC Player of the Month, okay? This is a guy. So, voiceover guy, I know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the number one rush defense. But what I also know as of this morning, which I guess you didn't have the privy of, this is the first guy in the history of the fucking Colts to ever win Player of the Month twice in a season. He's done it in back-to-back months. Think about the Colts. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edgerrin James, the list goes, Dallas Clark, the list goes on and on for offensive weapons that could have potentially won this Player of the Month award twice in 1 year, let alone back-to-back. That's Jonathan. So I didn't hear that in the voiceover.
No, not at all. And it kind of makes sense what you guys were talking about. Like, Jim Irsay probably was saying that, and that's why he wasn't in the episode at all last night.
Yeah, I thought I was going to maybe have a little appearance in there because I wanted to say how.
Oh, yeah, this is the one you were supposed. Did they show Robert in the whole ceremony?
Nothing.
None of it.
This didn't even make it in.
They did show a guy proposing.
Oh yeah. Gorman was hosting a proposal.
Yeah.
Did she say yes?
She did. Yeah.
She did. Shocked.
It was awesome. It was a cool moment.
Thank you.
Like on the Jumbotron?
Yeah, halfway through, Kenny Moore's mom's actually like, it says fucking, will you marry me? It says, will you marry me? Why can't you
say lady, yeah. That's beautiful. Let's get back to the game. I love Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore, his family, everything. Last night was if you're going to run for president, you would want like what last night did to explain that Kenny Moore is this guy who was not drafted, fifth year, superstar. And that's only one story of shit he's done in Indianapolis. He is a very, very, he's a gift to the city, Kenny Moore. And I'm happy that Hard Knocks kind of described that, but I didn't necessarily love the,
They had to pass the ball.
They did this because they're smarter than you. It's like, all right, are they? I don't
HBO
know.
needs to market that better, first off.
Who do you think writes that for?
Does anyone? Am I not watching the right stuff? Like I never see any.
It's on
promos
too
for
late.
it.
It's on HBO at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it marketed anywhere.
Well, and I think like in the summer, when it's normally on 10 o'clock, not that late because the sun doesn't leave at 5 o'clock in most states.
Right.
10 o'clock at night with a Colts team. I guess Indianapolis is probably watching it, I assume, because it is awesome. It is
really good.
Really, really cool. It's like fly on the wall for
I just don't think anybody knows it's out there.
Well, yeah, but I think also 10 o'clock is very late. People are asleep. But
I mean, even to record it though, like I think a lot of people that are fans of the NFL would love to watch it, but I don't think they're aware that it's running.
Yeah, and is access to it as privy?
Yeah, I mean, they're promoting it almost like solely on HBO Max.